Fossil fuels power a large portion of the modern world. They generate electricity, fuel transportation, heat homes, and support industries that produce everything from plastics to fertilizers. Even as renewable energy continues to expand, fossil fuels still account for a significant share of the world's energy supply. But while most of us interact with fossil fuels every day, when we drive a car, turn on the lights, or buy products made from petroleum, very few people understand where these fuels actually come from. Behind the scenes, there is an enormous network of infrastructure dedicated to finding and extracting fossil fuels from deep beneath the Earth's surface. To understand how fossil fuels really work, we first have to go back millions of years. Long before humans existed, the Earth was covered with dense forests, ancient wetlands, and vast oceans filled with microscopic life. Plants and tiny marine organisms lived, reproduced, and died over millions of years. When these organisms died, their remains settled into layers of sediment. In swampy environments, thick layers of plant material accumulated and were gradually buried under mud and sand. In ancient oceans, microscopic organisms such as plankton sank to the seafloor when they died. As time passed, these organic remains were buried deeper and deeper beneath additional layers of rock and sediment. Over millions of years, increasing heat and pressure began transforming this material. Under the right conditions, the organic material slowly turned into the fossil fuels we use today: coal, oil, and natural gas. Coal formed primarily from ancient plant material in swamp environments. As the layers of vegetation were buried and compressed, the material gradually transformed into carbon-rich rock. This transformation happened through several stages. First, the plant material became peat. With greater pressure and heat, peat slowly turned into lignite, then bituminous coal, and eventually anthracite, which contains the highest carbon concentration. Oil and natural gas formed differently. These fuels originated from microscopic organisms that once lived in ancient oceans. When these organisms died, their remains sank to the ocean floor and were buried under layers of sediment. Over millions of years, the heat and pressure from the Earth's crust transformed this material into hydrocarbons, chemical compounds made primarily of hydrogen and carbon. These hydrocarbons slowly migrated through porous rock formations until they became trapped beneath layers of impermeable rock. These underground accumulations are known as oil and gas reservoirs, but fossil fuels are not evenly distributed across the planet. They form only in specific geological environments where the conditions were right for their formation and preservation. This means finding them requires a combination of geology, engineering, and advanced technology. Energy companies use techniques such as seismic surveys to explore underground rock formations. During a seismic survey, controlled sound waves are sent into the Earth. These waves travel through the rock layers and bounce back when they encounter different types of material. By analyzing how the waves return to the surface, scientists can create detailed images of underground structures. These images help geologists identify formations that may contain oil or natural gas reservoirs. Once a promising location is identified, drilling can begin. Drilling rigs are used to bore deep into the earth to reach these reservoirs. On land, drilling rigs are large structures equipped with powerful machinery capable of drilling thousands of feet below the surface. Offshore drilling uses similar technology, but the rigs are mounted on large platforms in the ocean. Offshore platforms are among the most impressive engineering structures ever built. Some operate in waters thousands of feet deep and drill several miles beneath the ocean floor to reach oil and gas deposits. As the drill penetrates the earth, engineers insert steel casing pipes into the well. These pipes stabilize the well and prevent surrounding rock layers from collapsing. Once the drilling reaches the reservoir, oil or gas can begin flowing toward the surface. However, extraction is not always straightforward. In some reservoirs, natural underground pressure pushes oil toward the well naturally. But in many cases, additional techniques are needed to maintain production. One method involves injecting water into the reservoir. This increases pressure underground and helps push oil toward the production wells. Another technique, known as hydraulic fracturing, or fracking, is used to extract oil and gas trapped within dense rock formations such as shale. Fracking involves injecting high-pressure fluid into the rock to create small fractures. These fractures allow trapped hydrocarbons to flow more easily toward the well. Coal extraction uses a different approach. Instead of drilling wells, coal is typically mined from underground seams. In some areas where coal deposits lie near the surface, large-scale surface mining is used. This involves removing layers of soil and rock to expose the coal seam beneath. In other regions, underground mines are built to access deeper coal deposits. These mines include complex systems of tunnels, conveyor belts, ventilation systems, and monitoring equipment to ensure safe operations. Natural gas extraction often occurs alongside oil production, since gas frequently forms in the same reservoirs. But natural gas can also exist in independent underground formations. Once extracted, natural gas is transported through pipelines to processing plants where impurities such as water vapor and other gases are removed. At this stage, fossil fuels have only completed the first step in their journey. Extracting oil, gas, and coal from the earth is only the beginning. These resources still need to be transported across continents, refined into usable fuels, and delivered to power plants, factories, and vehicles. In Part 2 of this series, we'll explore what happens next, how fossil fuels travel through pipelines and ships, how refineries transform crude oil into fuels, and how these fuels ultimately power the modern world. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to Hidden Infrastructure of the World. Also, comment down below what hidden infrastructure you want to see next. See you in the next video.